Hello Stampers and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. Who's ready to color? I am. I have had so much fun since the moment I got this stamp set. This stamp set is the Love is Kind stamp set. It is a single stamp set and it does come in wood only. It is in the Occasions mini catalog and it is absolutely amazing. It is so beautiful. I love tulips. It's, you know, it's just the epitome of spring, right? And you know how I love spring and can't wait till it comes, as it is snowing outside today. So I'm going to show you a couple ways to color with this stamp set and to use your blendabilities. Of course, don't forget that whenever you're stamping and coloring with blendabilities, you want to use your Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad so that your colors aren't running. So here are a couple samples that I created, and I just want to show you a couple different ways to get a couple different looks. For example, you'll see how this beautiful card is, this one was done with the Rich Razzleberry, and you'll notice that the flowers are darker in the center, and so that was just a little a different way that I colored. You'll notice that this one was done with the Calypso Coral, and they are darker towards the bottom of each of the flower, and then they get lighter towards the top. Then you'll notice that this one was actually done with the Pink Pirouette, and this one is lighter in the centers, the centers being the overlap of the petals here, and they're darker on the outside of the petals that are shown. Then this one I did in Cherry Cobbler and Daffodil Delight. And then this one I did with the Pink Pirouette and the Rich Razzleberry. So I'm just going to show you, because I don't really consider myself a complete artist when it comes to the blendabilities. I don't know if it's my lack of patience or creativity or what it is, but it does take some finesse and some playing with, and then there's certain images that I prefer to stamp and color with because they have those guidelines that are like what I kind of consider cheaters. You know, the lines on the flowers that you can go along, or the lines that show that it's folded over, so you know that that's darker, because to be honest, I'm not sure I totally understand that whole light source thing. I'm not sure that I get it. So here I stamped three different, or three of the same. It's all that same image, and you'll see with this one, the Pink Pirouette, I outlined the outside of each of the flowers. So you'll see I outlined each of the flowers there, just on the bottom half, not on the top, that top bump. I did that with the Pink Pirouette. With this one here, I did the bottom portion of each of the flowers, and I did that one with the Calypso Coral. With this one, I just did a little Y going up that center and then branching off in the two directions of the petal there, and I did that one in the Coastal Cabana. So these are the colors that I used here. I'm now going to take, and again, I use the darkest one of each color. Now I'm going to take the middle one, and I'm actually going to color in a little higher. And I'm using a circular motion, and I'm going completely over that spot that I've already colored. I'm going over it and kind of dragging up and down and back around and everything. So you definitely want to go so that you blend and you're getting that that nice even color rather than like a distinct line of light, medium, and dark. And if you feel like you're still seeing it, keep swirling, keep going over it. And I will let you know that I found out another trick. Give it some time. If you find that it's not working and you just keep going over and over and over and over, stop and let it dry just a smidge, and then go back over it one more time. Again, there's my patience showing that I don't have any, because I just kept going over it and I'm not seeing it change. And you know, once I like left and came back, you know, like this one I can still kind of see, so I stop for a second and then I come back. And look, now it's gone. See? Just a little bit of patience. You don't need a ton, or otherwise I wouldn't be doing this probably. So now you'll see that I've colored each of those flowers in just a little bit further. And then now I'm going to take the lightest color, And again, for the original darkest color, I actually use the pen tip, but for the blending, I like to use the fatter marker tip. And I do want to say, don't push really hard. Just really lightly, just, you know, swirl around and know that that pen tip is going to take care of it for you on getting to those edges and stuff. So you just have to be nice and light. And again, I'm not going all the way down into that dark spot that I originally did, but I am going into that middle medium. And again, pulling some color out and coming back again. Oh, there's a little line, I feel like. Oh, and now it's gone. So it does take some finesse. My husband actually does play with the blendabilities as well, partially because I want to see what he kind of comes up with. He actually likes to swipe, so he likes to pull the color up from the bottom and color like that. I like to color in swirls, so whichever technique you prefer, both of them work. You just kind of have to play with it a little bit. And here I'll actually show you how I haven't completely blended. See this flower here? It's not completely blended. You can see those lines. So you can actually see that, you know, there's a distinct line there, but the more I go over it and the more I just keep blending and swirling, the more it actually, you know, reduces that line and looks more like an ombre effect. And just fades into that lighter color. It looks like a sunset actually on a little tulip. Also, another tip about putting these on without hurting the tips is to lay them down. So if you lay them down and just ease them right in and then press. So that kind of helps a little bit. See how each of those blend so well? Super fabulous. Now I'm just going to go over to the blue one, and again I'm going to blend this time not top up or bottom up. I'm actually going to blend middle in, and I'm actually going to leave that top petal that's on the back side. I'm actually going to leave that and do that all in the lighter color. So now I'm all done, and you can see how I still have a few white spots left over. It actually looks really pretty without the last piece colored in, so that's another trick that you could do. So now I'm just going to take that lighter color and finish coloring in on that outside piece and do that little tip there at the top. How fabulous are those? And you can see those have that lighter outside. And again, if you end up going too far out on some of them, you can always take your color lifter here. Remember, this isn't really an eraser, it's a lifter. So you can always just do little lines on those outside pieces. And again, this is another patience thing. It doesn't show up right away. It just, you know, as time kind of goes on, it sort of starts to bleach out a little bit. And then with this one, I'm just going to go from the outside in. And so there you have that. And again, that looks really gorgeous the way it is, but I'm still going to fill in with that lightest pink in that center piece, and then also in that third one there in the back. And with the pink pirouette, I really like to use the color lifter. I don't know if it's because it's such a light color I like to use it, or what it is. But then I like to take the color lifter and just almost do like I did with this one with the dark where I did the Y. I'm going to do the color lifter with the Y. And with the Y, I mean go down that center one and kind of loop up to the other two. And so there you have it. Super fabulous, and I love it. So now I'm just going to show you how I did the newspaper with that brown here, and that I used with my skin tone assortment. So I started out with this one, which I would consider is the second darkest, and with that I just did a little line along the edge here, and then on the outside of the paper I did another little line and kind of fill in that corner just a bit. So you can see I did a line over here, and then I did a line on the outside of that piece of paper with a little extra up there in that corner and a little extra down here in this corner. Then I'm going to take the next color in. So actually that one was the bronze. Now I'm actually using the blush. And I'm just going to take this one and just pull over that same dark color and go just like, if I went just one strike in with the first line, I'm gonna go 2 strikes in with this one. And just keep going over that line so that you don't have that distinct dark and light. And then I'm going to take the natural one, and I'm not gonna go all the way to the edge because I want some of that white showing up on that newspaper. But I'm just gonna go another 2 strikes in, you know, two widths. And then with this one, there's not a lot of room, so I just leave a little corner here and a little corner down here. And so you can see that there. How fabulous is that? For the stems, I actually used the old olive colors, and I usually use the lightest and the darkest, or the darkest and the lightest, to do both the stems and the leaves. And then I have gone through again with the color lifter and went down some of the centers of the leaves. Again, you can see here, some of the leaves have that center line there. So you can see how fabulous you can use that as a guide. Again, I kind of like the images that are a little dummied down so that I can see where I need to color and where my lines need to go. So let's bring back in those samples. And I'll just swing them by the camera a little bit so you can kind of see them. I think this one's my favorite, but I'm not sure. I really love that one too. But I'm a big Calypso Coral fan. So be sure to check out my blog, laurastamppad.com. I'll be taking some more photos of these and some zoomed in photos so you can see those a little bit better. But I just wanted to share a little of my few tips that I've learned with using the Blendabilities and the Love is Kindness stamp set. So I hope you learned something from this video, so be sure to give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time. Happy stamping!